at Kings Beach in Newport, and this is the first day of our eelgrass restoration season, and we're in the midst of a harvest of eelgrass. We have divers just off the shore in a pretty significant eelgrass bed on the south shore of Newport, and they are harvesting clumps of eelgrass, about plate size. And what we're doing here, we have kayakers bring them into shore, and then this group of folks sitting with me are volunteers for Save the Bay's Eelgrass Project. We are sorting these clumps of eelgrass into groups of 50, so we're able to count how many we actually have. Our goal is about 20,000 over the next 2 days to harvest from this site in Newport, from this healthy eelgrass bed, and bring over to Portsmouth, up the bay a bit, to one of our restoration sites at Coggeshall Point. And at that site, divers will literally transplant this root, these roots and these blades of eelgrass. Sorry, I'm splashing you guys. And we have bamboo skewers that we soak in water so that they're pliable and they can bend, and they will dig a little hole, plant the eelgrass in the sediment, in the sand, and use a bamboo skewer to hold the roots in place. And each and every one, all 20,000 plants will be planted that way. So it's about a 4-day effort, 2 days of harvest, 2 days of transplanting. And we will, in June, May and June, we'll harvest at 2 other sites, or another site in Jamestown, and then come back here to Kings Beach. So in total, we'll harvest and transplant about 60,000 shoots of eelgrass. And with regards to Save the Bay's restoration efforts, eelgrass restoration efforts over the last several years, we started this bay-wide restoration effort back in 2001. Oh, here's a clamworm. This shows you some of the life we find in the eelgrass bed. We get to see up close and personal when we're sorting the eelgrass. This is a clamworm, and we found a variety of other worms. One of the divers this morning just told me she's already found 2 small lobsters out in this eelgrass bed. The divers get to see a lot of other creatures out in the bed. But it gives you a sense of how productive these eelgrass beds. They're important habitat for a variety of life, from the animals that live down in the roots of the eelgrass, the various worms. There's an ice cream cone worm, which makes a beautiful ice cream cone shaped casing, which is made out of individual grains of sand. And they're parchment worms, and then as you move up into the eelgrass bed, the divers find all sorts of fish and crabs, and the blue crabs are always a little dangerous when they're harvesting because they're pretty aggressive. They find lobsters. The number of species that live in eelgrass beds or rely on it for some portion of their life is very significant, and that's why we're trying to restore eelgrass to areas around Narragansett Bay where it used to be growing historically, but due to water quality, due to pollution over the past 100 years, due to hurricane damage, but generally pollution, we've lost most of our eelgrass beds in Narragansett Bay, in the upper and middle sections of the bay. Most of our beds today are here in the southern portion of the bay. We're actually not even adjacent, we're outside of Narragansett Bay, here on the south side of Newport. Fort Getty and Jamestown, another one of our harvest sites, is actually at the southernmost entrance of Narragansett Bay. So we harvest from these southern sites, and we try to transplant to more northern mid sections of Narragansett Bay.